You are seeing this because your psyche has finally reached the threshold where winning is no longer a fantasy you entertain, but a reality you are being forced to confront. This is not a coincidence. The unconscious does not operate on chance. It operates on readiness. I have discovered throughout my work that before a major psychological breakthrough into success, the psyche emits specific signals. Most people miss them. They stay stuck in the familiar pattern of losing because losing has become their identity. They have built an entire psychological structure around being the person who almost makes it, the person who tries hard but never quite succeeds, the person who has potential but never actualizes it. Right now, in this exact moment, you are standing at the gateway between the loser identity you have worn like armor and the winner identity that terrifies you more than failure ever could. Your unconscious knows you are ready. That is why you are here. Here is what terrifies most people about winning. It is not the hard work, it is not the competition, it is not even the possibility of failure. It is the terror of becoming visible. When you win, you can no longer hide in the crowd. You can no longer blend into the collective mediocrity that feels safe precisely because it demands nothing from you. You can no longer use your losing streak as an excuse for why you have not lived up to your potential. I have discovered something I call the golden shadow. We spend enormous energy suppressing not just our darkness, but our light. We hide our power, our intelligence, our capability, our worthiness. Why? Because claiming those qualities means we have to take responsibility for our lives. It means we can no longer blame circumstances, other people, bad luck, or timing. It means the only thing standing between you and victory is you. And that terrifies people more than staying stuck in patterns of defeat ever could. Most people prefer the prison they know. They have decorated it. They have made friends with their jailers. They have convinced themselves that this cage is actually freedom, because at least here, no one expects anything from them. You can no longer pretend you do not know this about yourself. Before we go deeper, you need to understand why you have not won yet. It is not because you lack talent. It is not because the universe is against you. It is not because other people had advantages you did not have. You have been addicted to losing because losing is familiar. Your nervous system has been wired for decades to expect defeat. Every time you approached victory, your brain interpreted it as a threat to your identity. Your brain does not care about your happiness, it cares about survival. And survival means predictability. I have spent decades studying this pattern. I watched patients approach their greatest victories only to implode at the last moment. The businessman who sabotages the deal that would make his career, the artist who destroys her best work before anyone can see it, the athlete who chokes in the final seconds of the championship game. One woman came to me after losing her third major promotion. Each time she had been the top candidate. Each time she found a way to disqualify herself. She missed a crucial meeting. She submitted her proposal with obvious errors. She had an emotional outburst with her supervisor the week before the decision. She believed she had bad luck. I saw something different. The week before each promotion decision, she would dream of being on a stage with a spotlight on her. In the dream, she was naked. Everyone was staring. She would wake up in terror. Her unconscious was screaming the truth. Winning meant being seen. Being seen meant being vulnerable. Being vulnerable felt like death. This was not weakness. This was the psyche protecting itself from the terror of transformation. Another client, a writer, would complete brilliant manuscripts and then never submit them. He had 17 finished novels in his drawer. 17 complete works he refused to send to publishers. When I asked why, he said he was waiting until they were perfect. But perfection was not the goal. Obscurity was the goal. Because if he never submitted his work, he could never be rejected. But more importantly, He could never be accepted. Acceptance meant he would have to identify as a successful writer. That identity had no script for him. His entire self-concept was built around being the misunderstood genius who never got his break. Success would shatter that identity. I realized this was not about fear of failure. This was about terror of success. Because transformation means death, not physical death, psychological death, the death of every comfortable lie you have told yourself about why you have not won yet. Right now, your psyche is preparing for that death. There are specific signs that reveal when this turn is coming. The first sign is what I call the anhedonia threshold. Things that used to comfort you suddenly feel empty. The distractions that numbed your dissatisfaction no longer work. You scroll through your phone and feel nothing. You binge the show and feel hollow. You seek out the people and activities that used to make you feel better, and they only make you feel more alone. Most people interpret this as depression. I understand this differently. This is not depression. This is readiness. Your psyche is withdrawing libido from what no longer serves your evolution. The unconscious is pulling energy away from the patterns and behaviors that kept you stuck, making space for new patterns to emerge. You are meant to feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the birth canal of transformation. When you can no longer tolerate your current reality, you are being prepared to step into a new one. The second sign is the loss of tolerance for mediocrity. People you used to tolerate suddenly feel unbearable. Jobs you used to accept suddenly feel like cages. Relationships built on your smallness suddenly feel suffocating. You find yourself irritable, restless, angry at things that never bothered you before. This is not you becoming difficult. This is your authentic self refusing to be compressed anymore. The psyche knows what it needs before the conscious mind admits it. When you start feeling allergic to your own life, you are not losing your mind. You are finding it. The third sign is what I call the pressure cooker feeling. You sense something building inside you, a knowing that change is coming, an urgency you cannot quite name. Your sleep changes. You wake at 3 in the morning with your heart racing. Your appetite changes. You feel simultaneously exhausted and wired. This is your psyche generating the psychological pressure needed to break through the identity structure that has kept you losing. Most people try to suppress this feeling with distractions, addictions, and busyness. They medicate it away because it feels like anxiety. But it is not anxiety. It is transformation trying to happen. When a seed is about to break through the soil, there is enormous pressure. That pressure is not the problem. That pressure is the breakthrough trying to occur. If you are feeling this pressure right now, you are closer to winning than you have ever been. Here is where it gets dangerous. When victory is close, self-sabotage kicks in hardest. I have documented this pattern across hundreds of cases. The sabotage is not random. It follows specific patterns. You pick fights with people who support you. You create drama where there was peace. You suddenly decide to change your entire strategy the week before your breakthrough. You get sick. You have an accident. You make an uncharacteristic mistake that costs you the opportunity, or more subtle. You simply stop doing the things that were working. You skip the practices that built your momentum. You tell yourself you need a break, and the break becomes permanent. Think about the last time you were close to winning something that mattered. What happened? Did you suddenly lose motivation? Did you find reasons why this particular victory did not matter as much as you thought? Did you discover flaws in your plan that made the whole thing seem pointless? Did you start focusing on a completely different goal, convincing yourself that this new thing was actually more important? Did you seek out information that confirmed why you should not pursue this victory? These are not random events. These are your psyche trying to protect you from the terror of success. The closer you get to actualizing your potential, the louder the inner saboteur becomes. It will use any tool available: doubt, distraction, drama, disease, because success means you have to maintain that new level. You have to live up to your potential. You have to be the person who wins. That person has responsibilities. That person is visible. That person can be judged. Losing means you are safe in the crowd. Losing means your potential remains theoretical. As long as you have not fully tried, you can tell yourself you could have won if you really wanted to. That feels more dangerous than staying stuck. But here is the truth. Winning is not about luck. It is not about timing. It is not about the right circumstances finally appearing. Winning is about allowing. It is about stopping your resistance to your own evolution. I discovered that people do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they cannot tolerate the psychological reality of success. They cannot handle being seen. They cannot handle having power. They cannot handle the responsibility that comes with winning. They cannot handle other people's envy. They cannot handle the pressure to maintain their success. Most of all, they cannot handle the death of their loser identity. That identity feels safe. It feels known. It feels like home. Even when that home is burning down around them. The loser identity comes with a complete script. You know how to be that person. You know what to expect. You know how people will treat you. You know the limits of what is possible for you. The winner identity has no script. You do not know how to be that person yet. You do not know what to expect. You do not know how people will treat you when you succeed. Right now, you are being asked to burn that home down yourself. You are being asked to step into a version of yourself you have only imagined, to claim an identity before you have evidence, to act as if you are a winner before the wins have materialized. This is the work of individuation. This is the process of becoming who you actually are beneath all the conditioning and trauma and fear. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you were before the world taught you to make yourself small. But your psyche interprets this return to wholeness as danger. Because wholeness means you cannot hide anymore. Wholeness means you have to show up fully. Wholeness means you have to use all of yourself. And you have spent a lifetime learning to use only a fraction of what you are. When you start to evolve beyond your family system or your culture or your social group, the collective unconscious pushes back. This is why winning feels lonely at first. The people around you are unconsciously invested in you staying who you were. Your losing served a function in their psychological economy. Maybe it made them feel better about their own lack of achievement. Maybe it gave them someone to help, which made them feel needed. Maybe your smallness allowed them to feel big. When you start winning, you disrupt that system. People who were comfortable with the losing version of you become uncomfortable with the winning version. They will not say this directly. They will say they are worried about you. They will say you are changing. They will say you are becoming arrogant or losing your humility or forgetting where you came from. What they mean is your transformation is holding up a mirror to their stagnation. Your freedom becomes a spotlight on their cage. And instead of using that spotlight to find their own way out, they will try to convince you to come back in. When you individuate, you will lose people. You must lose people. Anyone who needs you to stay small, to feel comfortable, is not actually in relationship with you. They are in relationship with their projection of you. And that is not tragedy. That is liberation. You do not need to become someone different. You need to stop pretending to be someone you are not. The way forward. First, you must recognize your addiction to losing. You must see clearly how the loser identity has served you. Write down every benefit you have received from not winning. The sympathy, the low expectations, the excuse to not try your hardest, the safety of invisibility. This is not about judgment. This is about consciousness. You cannot change what you cannot see. Second, you must integrate your golden shadow. You must reclaim the power the intelligence, the worthiness, the capability you have been hiding. Make a list of qualities you admire in others and realize those qualities are in you. The unconscious projects what it cannot own. If you see it out there, it is in you. Claim it, not arrogantly, truthfully. Third, you must grieve the loser identity. You must let it die. This is an actual death. You will feel sadness. You will feel fear. You will feel disoriented. Let yourself feel it. Do not rush past this. The psyche needs to complete the death ritual before the rebirth can occur. Spend time consciously saying goodbye to who you were. Thank that version of yourself for protecting you when you needed protection. And then let it go. Fourth, you must claim the winner identity before you have evidence. You must begin acting from that identity now. Ask yourself every day, what would the version of me who wins do right now? And then do that. Even when it feels like pretending, especially when it feels like pretending, this is not fake it until you make it. This is act as if until you become. The psyche cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined reality and an actual one. When you consistently act from the winner identity, your unconscious begins to accept it as true. Fifth, you must protect your transformation from collective pressure. You must learn to tolerate other people's discomfort with your growth. You must stop explaining yourself. You must stop seeking permission. You must stop waiting for approval. The people who are meant to come with you will come. The people who are not will fall away. Your job is not to make everyone comfortable with your evolution. Your job is to evolve. Sixth, you must learn to tolerate winning without sabotaging it. This is perhaps the hardest part. When good things start happening, your nervous system will scream danger. You will feel the urge to destroy what you are building. You must recognize this as the death throes of the old identity. Breathe through it. Do not act on the sabotage impulses. Call them what they are. Say out loud, this is my unconscious trying to keep me safe by keeping me small. I see you, I understand you, and I am choosing differently. Seventh, understand that winning is not a destination. It is a practice. It is a daily choice to act from your highest self instead of your wounded self. Some days you will choose well, some days you will not. The practice is not perfection. The practice is consistency. The practice is returning to the choice again and again, even after you fail, even after you sabotage, even after you fall back into the old patterns. You return. That returning is the individuation process. This is your turn, not because the universe suddenly decided to be kind, but because you are finally ready to let yourself win. You are finally done with the loser identity. You are finally exhausted by your own resistance. You are finally sick of your own excuses. The signs are already appearing. The pressure, the restlessness, the dissatisfaction, the intolerance for mediocrity, the feeling that something is about to break open. These are not random. These are your psyche preparing for transformation. I have always believed that people who successfully complete this process become individuated. They stop living from collective programming and start living from their authentic self. And when that happens, winning becomes inevitable, not because life gets easier, because they are psychologically aligned with success. They are no longer at war with their own potential. They win because winning is who they are. Here is what you must do. 1. Acknowledge your unconscious sabotage patterns without judgment. Write them down. See them clearly. Name them. The more conscious they become, the less power they have. 2. Decide that losing is no longer acceptable, not as a motivational platitude, as a genuine psychological commitment. Declare internally that the loser identity is dead. You are done negotiating with it. 3. Identify one action you can take this very day that aligns with the winner identity. Not tomorrow, today. One small action that the winning version of you would take, and do it. Build momentum with action, not planning. 4. Expect resistance, not as evidence of failure, as evidence of transformation. When the sabotage impulses come, when the fear comes, when the urge to quit comes, recognize it as the death throes of the old identity. Let it thrash. Do not give it power by acting on it. 5. Find allies who can witness your evolution without trying to pull you back. Not yes people. People who are also committed to their own growth. People who understand that transformation is lonely and necessary. Protect your energy from people who need you to stay small. 6. Commit to the daily practice of choosing from your highest self. Every choice is a vote for who you are becoming. Every time you choose the winner behavior over the loser behavior, you are casting a vote. You are building identity through action. 7. Ask yourself every single day, what would the whole realized version of me do right now? And then do that, especially when it feels uncomfortable, especially when it feels like pretending. That gap between who you are and who you are becoming is bridged through action, because that is how you bridge the gap. You act as if until you become. You are standing at the gateway. The choice is yours. You can return to the familiar pattern of losing and pretend you did not hear these truths. You can go back to your comfortable cage and tell yourself that this is just how life is for you. You can keep collecting evidence for why you are not meant to win, or you can step through the gateway and become who you actually are. Jung believed that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are, not who your parents wanted you to be, not who society said you should be, who you actually are beneath all the conditioning. Your transformation is not just personal, it is collective. When you stop hiding your light and start claiming your power, you change the frequency of possibility for everyone around you. You give permission for others to do the same. You are finally ready to win. You are finally choosing your evolution over your excuses. And that choice changes everything. Welcome to the beginning of who you were always meant to be.